Welcome to the Full-Time Fantasy Podcast, presented by the Fantasy Football World Championship, home to the industry's most accurate rankings.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Full-Time Fantasy Podcast. My name is Adam Krautwurst. I'm the host of this wonderful show, as always, and with me tonight is Jerry Daily Double Bryant here to join me in the show to talk waivers, Week 6 waivers, and injury fiasco, another injury-plagued week in the wonderful world of high-stakes football. Jerry, how you doing, my friend?
Good. Trying to figure out what to do about Hampton and neighbors.
That's it. The list keeps getting longer and longer too, my friend. It's pretty wild. How you holding up?
Okay, I'm usually pretty good on injuries. This last week wasn't as bad. It didn't seem as the week before, or maybe I'm getting them mixed up. But I think it was 2 weeks ago when it was really bad. But yeah, Hampton's killing me, and I had 2 or 3 neighbors. So
Yep.
Other people are doing a lot worse, I can promise you.
And some people are doing a lot better for sure. So Hopefully we're somewhere in the middle. But all right, let's dive in here because I know everybody wants to get back to their waivers. 11 o'clock Eastern time is when the waiver cuts off here for FFWC. So we got a bunch of leagues over there, and we'll start with the injuries here, kind of older ones, newer ones, and then Jelly, I'll get to your question in the chat. Okay, so injuries this week, there's a lot of options on the waiver wire, but injuries, Lamar Jackson's probably going to miss another week here. Quarterback injury. They have a bye week 7, so they'll probably rest him. Although I think he should probably play week 6 because they need to win. But as of right now, not looking great.
Play week 6
Amari and Hampton is on the IR, short-term IR. He was placed there on Monday. He'll be eligible to return week 10 versus Pittsburgh, which isn't a great matchup either. So we're going to talk about who can replace him this week. Bucky Irving's still out for one more week, running back for the Bucs. Bowers week looks like he's out. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll talk about maybe a backup there. Terry McLaurin, optimistic about a week 6 return. So we'll check in on that. Everybody, again, this stuff we do this Wednesday night before waivers go through. A lot's going to change Thursday and Friday. Ricky Pearsall might play this week. He's a true questionable. Brock Purdy could miss an additional game. Jawan Jennings, Darius Slayton popped up on the hamstring. He was like, "Oh, let's pick up Slayton for neighbors." Nope, he couldn't last half a game. And then Spencer Schrader, kicker, tore his ACL and MCL, so he is done. So, pretty gross stuff. But let's dive in to some guys that we think can get in and replace them. Sam Darnold, Jerry, what do you think of center quarterback? Sam Darnold, he's a guy that was on waivers a bunch. He still is on waivers a bunch. He was like everybody's waiver pickup for their injured quarterback or for their quarterback on a bye, and he kind of smashed last week. Everyone thought he was a product of Kevin O'Connell's offense. He had a huge 341-yard, 4-touchdown performance against Tampa. What's your thought on Darnold and maybe adding him to a roster if he gets some injuries?
Yeah, I've done a few of the waivers, and he's been out there in a couple of them. Last week, neither offense could be stopped. They just went up and down the field. And, he started the first couple of games. I don't think he did very well, but he's looked really good lately. So, yeah, definitely. He won't be there next week.
No. He's got 2+ touchdown passes in 3 of the last 4 games. Let's check.
They're playing Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're playing Jacksonville. They have an average strength of schedule. Fantasy playoffs, they get Indy, Rams at Carolina. So Indy's a good pass defense, or good to have against their pass defense. And then Carolina You know, they had that one really great game a couple weeks ago. But other than that, they haven't been very good. So I think he's for sure a good streamer there to kind of lock him in. I think it's pretty much there. Quarterback Flacco. What are you doing with Joe Flacco, quarterback of the Bengals now? Tons of talent around him. I could see him going out and getting hurt in like a week or two because that's just how it works. But
yeah, and who do they
Flacco,
play?
I think it's better for the pieces around him than he is maybe for himself. Fantasy.
Yeah, they're playing Green Bay.
Sorry, I
That's
think you cut out, Jerry.
not good. Green Bay's not a good team to start with. You flashing out a little bit? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep. Yeah, I think he'll help the weapons around him, and but I wouldn't be. I mean, obviously, no rushing upside. I guess it's like a desperation play. Let me go see where I have him in my ranks for this week. But
yeah, I look for quarterbacks. There wasn't too many quarterbacks out there. Darnold a few times.
No.
Rodgers, people like that. So pretty barren out there.
You know what's gross here in some of these leagues where I have. Yeah, in some of these leagues where I have Joe Burrow, I have to hold on to him because these are tournaments, right? So I can't just drop him because then someone will pick him up and use him in the race at the end of the year. So I'm like stuck holding on to Joe Burrow, which is stinking gross.
They're gonna blame you if you
It's
drop
so
him.
gross. Right, exactly. Especially after I snipe people on him too. For sure. So okay. Yeah, I was just trying to see where I have him in my quarterback rankings. Yeah, I have him like in the bottom five. Green Bay, not a great matchup for them. All right, got a quick question here from Jelly. Let's see. Better waiver pickup in PPR. Might flex over Charbonnet, Kendrick Bourne, or Romeo Dobbs, who was dropped for the bye. Also, Vidal Haskins. We'll get to Vidal Haskins in a minute here. I like Charbonnet in the flex, but Bourne is safe because if Jennings doesn't play, you can slide Bourne in. What do you think, Jer?
Yeah, Bourne is the one here. I mean, at least one more week. Latest I heard, Jennings and Pierce are out, so they're probably not going to play. So
okay,
Bourne, is the guy on that list. Yeah, who was the other ones? Let's see, pull that back up.
Yeah, it was. Let me see here. It was Dobbs or Bourne.
Yeah, the two running backs. I wouldn't drop Ollie Gordon. I know that, unless you just don't have anybody to drop.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even notice that at the end either. I have a rule of thumb: never drop a running back ever, unless you're picking up another running back. But yeah, never, because Ollie Gordon's an injury away from being a thing. So, all right, sit question here. Devonta Smith, Adams, Keenan Allen can only start 2. I like Devonta Smith in a shootout tomorrow. Not a shootout, but the Eagles to score like 40 points against the Giants on prime time. And then Devontae Adams. What do you got, Chair? What do you think?
Yeah, flip a coin on that one. I think the Chargers are going to be throwing. He may throw 50 times this week, because they have no offensive line or no running back. So, Herbert may be throwing a bunch. So, yeah, I'd take any of those 3. But I'm with you, I think the Eagles are going to try to throw a lot just to shut people up tomorrow night.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Agreed. All right. Back to waivers here. Theo Johnson's the guy that I've seen available. Had a kind of a coming out party. They shifted to a lot more 12 personnel. Played a season high 60 snaps, tied for the team lead with 7 targets. He had 6 catches, multiple 2 touchdowns. He has 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games with Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart looks to like him a lot. I think again, Bretton Strange hitting the IR. Bowers hurt. Kittle not back yet. Is Theo Johnson the guy that you're looking to add?
That's one thing I noticed about the 10 or 12 leagues I went through already is there's a lot of tight ends out there on waivers. There's a lot of good pickup, tight ends. And it's funny, William Meyer showed me a screenshot. He's got 50 shares of Theo Johnson.
Wow.
So
that better be 100%.
No, I don't think it was, but he has 50
God.
shares of him.
That is wild. Got another question here in the chat too, and maybe this is the same person. So I haven't gotten. Well, I want to say something first about the tight ends, and then I'll get back to this question. I was constantly, especially in FFWC, I was constantly taking a second tight end earlier because you can start them in FFWC with 2 flexes. Tight end 8 is going to be better than wide receiver 43. You know what I mean? So like I was constantly taking the Dalton Kincaid early or a second tight end early, Dallas Goedert, stuff like that, because I look at a lot of teams now. I'm starting 2 tight ends. Jake Ferguson, who's been crushing. So yeah, pick up some tight ends off waivers. You don't have to start 5 receivers, especially when there's injuries, or you don't have to start four running backs. Throw that safe tight end in there. It'll get you 13 points and call it a day. But yeah, we do have a question here, and you brought this up before the show, Jared. I haven't gotten to my mid-stakes teams yet for waivers for FFWC yet. And you were telling me you were seeing Calvin Ridley on all these waivers. Rock's asking, Aloha, why is Ridley on waivers everywhere? Maybe it's the same guy that owned him and dropped him everywhere. I don't know. Calvin Ridley shouldn't be on waivers. Not that he's had a great year, but he's going to draw a lot of money this week. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I haven't done the high stakes yet, but the mid stakes, it seems like every league he's on the waiver wire. So I think you're right. It had to have been one person that had him everywhere and was dropping him, because I don't understand that.
Maybe. Now their schedule isn't. Yeah, they have an average schedule rest of way. Their playoff schedule is tough. It's San Francisco, Kansas City, New Orleans. That's one negative, like 2 neutral matchups. They got a couple of good matchups coming up. Raiders, New England, Indy. So they're kind of like a middle of the road receiver schedule. Hopefully Cam Ward gets a little bit better because they don't really score a lot of points. But yeah, Ridley should certainly not be on waivers. I'm not really sure why he's there. Sticking with the tight end theme, Michael Mayer, he's available in a bunch of spots. I think he's a good pickup for this week. I think he's a good pickup to have in general for the rest of the year, but especially this week if Bowers is going to really be out for multiple weeks. So the tight ends last week, Ian Thomas and Albert Owebadom combined for 25% of the team's targets. Bowers hasn't looked great this year with that knee. Tight ends for the Raiders have accounted for 43 of Geno's 160 targets this season. That's a 33% target share. So I think that Mayer, you can pick him up and start him right away. Where are you on Mayer?
Yeah, I didn't even think of him. How much longer is he going to be out? Is he playing this week? I don't think he's playing this week.
It was a concussion. It was a concussion, and I just read something on him, but I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be back this week. Let me pull it up. Yeah, Mayer's a full participant today in practice.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, well, he's going to be.
He's a guy.
One because, Brock may not.
Yeah, he's a nice flex guy.
Yeah, they may sit Brock for a long time and maybe all year. Who knows? But Geno's so bad. Geno is so bad.
He's going to be in and out.
Yes.
I know. I have so much Brock Bowers. It's stinking crazy.
I got 0.
All right, Kendrick Bourne, I've seen out there on the waiver. Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings have been inactive. Obviously, and you said that you were like they might even be out this week. If Bourne's available, definitely go snatch him up. With all the injuries and all the bye weeks, even if one of them doesn't play, Pearsall or Jennings, I think you can start. You could start Bourne. He looked great last week. They can support him, especially without Kittle. So I think Bourne's a guy. If he's on waivers, you should definitely be targeting him.
Yeah, he's a 1 week guy probably, because Kittle will be back next week, and Mac Jones looked really good, even though with his pants falling down. I don't know if you saw that.
Right, I know. What a mess. God, what a mess. So yeah, if you need a 1 week starter, go ahead and grab Bourne. Let's talk about some of these running backs here. Kind of buried the lead here, but with Hampton out for a month, Kamani Vidal, Hassan Haskins. I'm annoyed because I had a bunch of Haskins like when Najee Harris went down a couple weeks ago, and then with more injuries, I had to make drops, and I ended up with less Haskins than I had before. But ankle injury on the IR, backup running backs Vidal and Haskins. Haskins obviously has the connection to Harbaugh from Michigan. But I think they're just going to end up passing the ball more. I don't think either running back is very good. I don't think the Chargers think the running backs are good. They had both of them last year. They went and got Najee. They went and got Hampton. So they already didn't like them to begin with, but they're going to be stuck in the role. So Vidal's been the better receiver. He caught 92 passes at Troy. So he improved his pass protection. He caught a pass last week. So we'll see. I wouldn't go crazy on these guys unless you absolutely need running back help and you're desperate for it. But where are you with this backfield, Jer?
I'm torn between which one to pick because I have a lot of injured running backs. So I'm putting in bids on both of them. And right now I'm bidding higher on Haskins. I've seen him play before. To me, he looks good running. Vidal seemed to be too small or something. He looked like a little bowling ball running around. But I don't know. Yeah. I have a feeling what's going to happen is whichever one starts out good, and there you go. One guy starts running the ball pretty good, they're going to leave him in there for the majority of the time. So I think it's a coin flip. I've heard a lot of people like Vidal better.
Yeah, Yeah,
so
I don't know what to do with it. I think I do. I lean Haskins. I think Vidal's better, but I think I lean Haskins, and I'm honestly just putting in. I've honestly been kind of rotating them, Jerry, on like my bids. Like sometimes I put Haskins ahead, sometimes I put Vidal ahead, just because I want to kind of get a mixture. If I do get them, I don't know if I'm going to bid high enough because some people might go crazy, but I think I'm at least keep them honest bids in there for sure.
I think you're going to see
that's a back.
Sorry. I think
go ahead.
I think you're going to see some really high bids on those guys.
Yeah, I think you will because you got some teams right now, this is make or break time, right? Like you're 1-4, you're 2-3, whatever. Like you have $800 of fab money. Like where are you going with that? You might as well, so you're going to have teams just bidding all the rest of their money on one or both of them. And so, yeah, like you said, I think they're going to go for crazy amounts for sure. All right. Ryan Flournoy for the Cowboys. Great week last week. He had career high in targets with 8 catches with 6 yards, 114. He only ran 33% of his routes from the slot against the Jets. 65% of Flournoy's routes have mostly come from the perimeter. So he kind of moves inside and outside. I think if Lamb and Turpin are both out, continue to be both out, this team passes enough, Dak's good enough where he could be, again, like a weekly flex like Bourne. He's worth having, he's worth stashing. Turpin's always hurt. He's so small. Plus Lamb, I can see them really taking their time on Lamb. He got hurt, week 2? So he's been out 3 weeks maybe now, 3, 4, 5, something like that.
I think he's been out 2 games.
2 games. Okay, so we got hurt week 3 then. Gotcha.
So he's not going to play this week, and I don't think Turpin's going to play this week.
Yep.
And Tolbert sucks because I know
that's right.
I picked him up a lot thinking he might be a sneaky play, and he don't even get a target. So
yeah, that could be Flournoy for sure. So I think, guys, he's worth adding. Maybe 5% of your blind bid might be a good shot on him there. All right, a couple more, and I think we talked about him. Maybe I don't know if it was you and I that talked about him before. Brashard Smith, running back for the Chiefs. He's a guy you might want to stash. He's slowly getting more involved. And Andy Reid is. Played a season high 19 snaps in week 4. He caught 3 passes in back-to-back games. So he was limited to 6 snaps against Jacksonville, but still had 3 catches, 4 touches for 32 yards. So he's explosive. If Pacheco goes down, or if you have an injury ahead of him there, I could see Brashard Smith being like a second half type of guy, kind of like Pacheco was a while back. So where are you? Do you have any Brashard Smith shares? Are your bags packed, Jer?
I started picking him up a couple of weeks ago, so I got a bunch. Well, I mean, probably 7 or 8 shares of him, and I think everybody's praying that he takes that Jarrett McKinnon role. If you remember that was like he was the guy to have it. Yeah, the guy to have at the end of the season, and this guy looks good. But the Checo looked a lot better the other night. So I don't know. Checo almost looked like his old self. He looked a lot better. So I don't know if this young guy's going to get in there. I hope he does because he looks good also.
He looked explosive. Yeah, Pacheco looked better, but yet Kareem Hunt still gets 2 touchdowns.
God. Yeah, I lost the league because I was up against Hunt, which drives you nuts,
That's
and I had ETN who got 6 points.
All right, last guy for me, and then you got a couple, Jared. We already talked about Ridley, obviously, but you got 2. Last one for me, Isaiah Davis. He's still available in some spots. Braylon Allen is expected to miss 2 to 3 months. Isaiah Davis played 44% of the snaps against Dallas. He only had 1 carry, but he had 4 targets and 3 catches, 28 receiving yards. He looks fine. He's Breece Hall's backup. Any running back that is an injury away from being the starter should be 100% owned. And then the running backs that are 2 injuries away from being the starter should be like 75% owned, because it's just a matter of what week these running backs are going to get hurt. So if Isaiah Davis is available, he's not really a true flex. He's more of a desperation play right now. But if anything that happens to Breece, or if he starts to get a little bit better in that passing game, and if they could, what are they, 0-5? They force 0 turnovers. The Jets have. They're like an absolute mess. But if they can figure it out a little bit on offense, Isaiah Davis could have some flex appeal. All right, who you got, Jerry? I think you're on mute, Jerry.
There's not too many running backs out there. That's why I'm afraid Haskins and the other guy, the perfume guy, they're going to get a lot of money put on them. There's some wide receivers, like we said, Ridley. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm putting money out there on Ridley. You might see some $500-$600 bids on Ridley because people are desperate. And then you got, but yeah, I can't think of any other running backs. I didn't see hardly any running backs.
Right.
To pick up I think those all went the last few weeks.
Yeah, it was pretty slim pickings for running backs this week. But what do you got? You got some Thornton guys who you want to talk about?
Yeah, is the KC Thornton is out there in a bunch of leagues, which really surprised me. So because until Rice comes back, I don't have a problem starting him. And the one on Las Vegas is out there too. I noticed him a few times. He hadn't done much, but there was a lot of people drafting him. Of course, Ridley and one thing, and I saw a lot of Mooney, which was kind of crazy. I can't believe he was out there so many times. And one thing I'm wondering about is the Green Bay guys, Jaden Reed and Watson. Are you going to start considering picking those guys up, or what's your thinking on those two?
I've always had a sore spot for Watson. I think he starts practicing week 6. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy that if you lost Neighbors, he can have those Neighbors type of explosive games where if you slide him in on the right week, you can really win, which would be great. And then Thornton, though, I think that the problem that I have with Thornton is that Rashee Rice is going to be coming back. Then you've got, so I don't want to kind of blow everything on Thornton because you got Rice, you got Hollywood, you got Worthy, you got Kelsey. So I don't even know when or how you would start Thornton, but I guess he could be worth a flyer. But it's about who you're dropping to get him. It's hard to pick up running backs and defenses and kickers and then find a place for Thornton for like a week. But yeah, that's kind of where I am on the Thornton guy. What do you think?
Yeah, he's a 1 week guy. Yeah, I guess let's see. Week 7, Rice will be back. So yeah, Thornton's a 1 week guy that if you need somebody this week.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, who do you got for defense? You got any streamers for us, Jerry? I know a defense I like to stream is the Packers this week versus the Bengals. I mean, again, they just signed Flacco, but I mean, it's his first week. He's a statue. Their line stinks. Flacco might not even make it out of this game healthy. So I kind of like the Panthers coming off of Packers coming off a bye against Flacco behind a terrible line in his first week. What do you got?
It's funny. I do all my kicker and defensive, guy. I do all the teams and just look for kickers and defenses like on Monday or Tuesday. And Green Bay was out there in every league. So, so you might see some $60, $70 bids on Green Bay this week.
Oh no. Well, I guess I'm not getting them then.
And Indy's out there. I think I had to drop a bunch of Kansas City because I don't want to play them against Detroit. So yeah, I've been picking up defenses right and left and kickers too. Yeah, every week I go through defenses.
A defense I've seen out there quite a bit because the bye week is the Steelers, and I love their matchup against Cleveland this week. So the Steelers will be out there too. So I would definitely pick them up, and they're probably a defense you can pick up and hold them and leave them for quite a bit. So let me actually see here. Do I have that? Yeah, let me pull up defense here. Yeah, Pittsburgh actually has the second best defense strength of schedule rest away. So they're a team. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Green Bay, and Indy are not good. But the final 3 weeks they get Miami, they get Cleveland, but they also have Detroit. But they got a lot of easy matchups in there, so you can kind of leave them in there, which is good. So, all right, Jared. Well, hey, thanks for joining me tonight, my friend. I know we got to get back to waivers here. Good luck in the FFWC streets. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Any comments, questions, concerns for the people this week, Jer? I think you're on mute again, bud.
You need to get that gal that was on the show a few weeks ago back on.
That's right.
I forget her name. Man, she was good.
Stacey Perez at Fantasy and Frames.
That's it. Yes, I really liked her. Lelis, you should try to get Lelis on. I love listening to him.
He's always full of energy.
Right, Sorjay, he's fun to listen to. Yeah.
Yeah. We did a little drinking draft with Sorjay over the summer. That was fun.
Yeah.
Actually, we do have a question here before we go from Always Smooth. Speaking of Ridley, Calvin Ridley and Jerry Jeudy, they're killing me. Well, sure. Which one do I like more moving forward? I don't know. I think I like. I don't really like either of them, but if I had to pick, it would probably be. It'd probably be Ridley, just because I think the rookie is going to be better than whatever Cleveland has left at quarterback. I think Cam Ward's better than whatever Cleveland has at quarterback, and I think he has kind of less target competition. All he really has there is Elick, Iamenor there to deal with targets into Tennessee. So, and they have a slightly better schedule down the stretch. Let me see, Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland has like one of the worst schedules in the fantasy playoffs. Chicago, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. It doesn't get tougher than that for passing the ball. So yeah, I would lean Calvin Ridley. But what about you, Jerry? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a toss up, but yeah, Ridley was being drafted a lot in round 5 and 6, so just going by that, I think you almost have to choose him. I mean, Judy was a little bit later, but again, Shedeur Sanders may be throwing in passes here in a little bit. So
he will.
I don't know if you want that.
Sooner rather than later, for sure. So, all right, everyone, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next Wednesday night. See you guys.